Now that unfortunately the Miami Dolphins season is over, let's talk about this season and how surprising it was. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, it is time for the year in review. Now, like I said, unfortunately, the Dolphins season came to an end, and it was a bad end. 30 points plus lost. It was a bad end. It was a bad end. But I'm going to look back on the season. I'm going to look back on a lot of things. This is probably going to be a good long video for you guys because we're going to talk about stats. We're going to talk about draft picks. We're going to talk about strength of schedule. We're going to talk about free agents. We're going to talk about the team. And then we're also going to talk about the future, what the cap space looks like, what our draft picks look like, a ton of things for the future. First, got to shout out my guy Kinley Plays, new mod, join the Patreon. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. Like I usually say, if you guys want to join the Patreon, it is linked below. You guys also are probably like, well, who won the giveaway? Well, nobody got anywhere near the points that were actually happened. So I'm in the process of going through them all and finding out how. Like whoever got the closest, I'm going to bundle you guys together. I'm in that process now. I will have it done very, very soon. Also, this week, I'm going to do a Q&A / I guess, package opening because I got a few packages waiting for me to go pick up. And I want to do a Q&A, end of the year, big Q&A. So in this video or on Twitter or on Instagram, hit me up with some comments, some questions. You could put hashtag end of put hashtag end of year Q&A, and then I'll know, hey, you want this question or comment to be in the Q&A video. That'll probably come out maybe Wednesday, give or take, and then we have the playoffs this week. Let me also know if you guys want me to talk playoffs and all that stuff. So that is what I got going on. Also, don't forget patchvibes.com. Use the promo code FREEPATCH to get your 25th anniversary free patch with your order. So let's talk about the year in review. Let's talk about this Miami Dolphins team that went 10-6. Went 5-11 last year. Did pretty well for a team that we had. Now, I consider this year the first year of a rebuild. I do not consider last year the first year of a rebuild because they didn't rebuild anything. They didn't start putting pieces in place to build anything. Last year was them tearing it down to the studs, accumulating picks, accumulating cap space to continue to do what we're doing this year. So I consider this first year of rebuild, and to go 10-6 after a drastic teardown is something that you could be very, very proud of. And I'm proud of this season. There was some ups and some downs. We went on a 5-game win streak, beating San Francisco, the Jets, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Chargers. Unfortunately, the loss to the Broncos. Then a 2-game win streak against the Jets, the Bengals. Unfortunately, the loss to the Chiefs. And then another 2-game win streak, Patriots, Raiders. And then, like I said, unfortunately, yesterday. I was going to say last night. I don't even know where I am right now. But the Dolphins, 10-6. Looking back on the season, there was some ups, some downs, some struggles, some good, which I'm going to talk about. But in a whole, nobody thought the Dolphins would go 10-6. There was some fans, I'm not saying no one as in the fans, some fans that thought 10-6. I said ceiling 10-6. If you guys go back, I predicted around 8-8, 9-7. I said, but ceiling 10-6, basement, I think I said 8-8, 7-9. I expected some growth, and I said if everything went right, 10-6. Some people said 12-4. Some people said 11-5. Some people said a lot. Winning division, hey, no one expected 10-6. Nobody. None of the experts expected it. Some people had us going 4 wins. Some people had us going 6 wins, which I was like, all right, well, we got one extra game than last year. But no one really expected us to do what we're doing now. Looking at the stats, right? Unfortunately, we dropped in points for defense. We were first, and then after that bad loss to the Bills, we're now 6th. When it comes to points for on offense, we're 15th. which isn't bad. It's literally like mediocre. It's in the middle of the pack. It's not bad. Yards isn't good. 22nd ranked and 20th ranked on defense. When it comes to passing yards, not good again. 20th in offense, 23rd in defense. Interceptions, though, we're first. And we know who we can, on defense, we know who we can thank for that. 17th on offense with 13 interceptions. Rushing, 22nd. Wasn't good rushing, but at least our quarterback isn't our leading rusher. I'll get to that in a second. 16th on defense isn't too bad. Again, middle of the pack, and then rushing touchdowns. 19th on offense and 18th on defense. Turnover percentage, Dolphins are ranked first on defense and 25th on offense, which, again, isn't too great. But we've gotten better. These stats last year were bottom of the bottom. Just all around the bottom. We're the worst. Looking at players on this team that I'm going to talk about team leaders, but also some of these team leaders are NFL leaders, like Xavier Howard. He's the team leader with 10 interceptions, but he also leads the NFL with 10 interceptions. Emmanuel Ogbah leads the team with 9 sacks. He's tied for 11th in the NFL with 9 sacks. I wish he would have accumulated more sacks. He kind of disappeared once he hit that 9-sack mark, which I will talk about a little bit. Kind of wish he would have got more there. Sanders is second in the NFL in field goal percentage, which sucks. He went 36 for 39. Young Hoku, who is another really good kicker, went 37 for 39. So Sanders was so close to being the best kicker in the NFL. He's one kick behind. I still consider him one of the best, but he is second. When it comes to team leaders, rushing, Myles Gaskin, 584 yards rushing. Not great. I would like better than that, but at least it's not Fitzpatrick and it's not Tua as our leading rushers. It's not the quarterback as the leading rusher. Because last year, Fitzpatrick was our leading rusher with like 200 and something yards. At least he like doubled that with 584. Leading receiver is Devontae Parker with 793 yards. Leading rushing touchdown is Jordan Howard with 4. Again, I will talk about why. Leading receiving touchdown is Mike Gesicki with 6. Leading tackle for loss is Zach Seiler. And like I said, our sack leader is Emmanuel Ogbah. And the leading tackler is Jerome Baker with 112. So the team definitely got better. The team definitely got better from last year to this year, not only in stats, not only in play, but also in win-loss record. Team definitely got better. Looking at our draft picks, who we picked up in the draft, first pick, Tua Tagovailoa. I will talk more about Tua Tagovailoa. It is a huge talking point, a huge debate with Tua Tagovailoa. I don't understand why, but I have some stats, I have some breakdown, and I will talk about it. Give me a second. I want to break down more of the team. Austin Jackson. Looking at Austin Jackson, I thought he's raw, but I wish we would have got a different tackle. I am very happy with Austin Jackson. Very happy. Noah Igbinoghene. At first, when we took the pick, I said, who, what, when, why? Why didn't we take a guard? Why didn't we take a safety? Why didn't we take a running back there? Then I watched his film, and I was like, he could be good. Then I'm like, hey, give the rookie a chance. The fact that he hasn't gotten on the field and the fact that he struggled so much, the jury's still out on him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt to see what he could do next year. But if he doesn't pan out, that pick was a wasted pick. Wasted pick. There were so many other players that the Dolphins could have took there, like J.K. Dobbins. Why didn't they take J.K. Dobbins there? There's a lot of other players. Second round, Robert Hunt. Great pick there. Then pick number 56, Rayquan Davis. Absolutely love that pick there. The third round pick, Brandon Jones. I think he was an absolute steal for this team. Absolute steal. He is all over the field on defense, making tackles. Great player. Love the Brandon Jones pick. I think he will become something very good for the Dolphins down the line. Solomon Kinley, another great pick with the 4th pick. Big bull on that offensive line. Really love what he will become. The 5th pick, Jason Strawbridge. Never really he saw the field here and there, but I think as he develops, he'll get better, especially with the full offseason. Curtis Weaver with the other fifth pick. He's not with the team anymore. Blake Ferguson, pretty good long snapper. Haven't had any problems with the snaps. That's the best thing on him. Malcolm Perry got his touchdown yesterday, but we'll develop him more. The funny thing is, I gave this draft about a B. I think I gave it like a B minus, and I got roasted. I'm being too optimistic. This draft isn't as good as you're making out to be. Look at all the reaches. Look at all this. Tua Tagovailoa, Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, Rayquan Davis, Brandon Jones, Solomon Kinley, Blake Ferguson, Malcolm Perry, all played significant time this year. All played well for us this year, especially Austin Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa. I don't care what you say anymore. Robert Hunt, Rayquan Davis, Brandon Jones, Solomon Kinley played very good and solid for us. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draft picks played good, solid for us this year. I underestimated this draft class. Then you also look at the free agents we brought in. Brandon Jones, Kyle Van Noy, Eric Flowers, Emmanuel Ogbah, Shaq Lawson, Ted Carris, Jordan Howard, Elandon Roberts, Gruger Hill, and Fedulum. You look at those guys that we brought in and the free agent. A lot of them panned out for us. A lot of them. Yes, Byron Jones has his struggles. He had a bad game yesterday. He tends to have good games, and then he tends to have some bad games. Is that because of him getting out of his head because of the injuries, his Achilles injury during training camp? Could be a few things we saw with Xavier Howard. It took him a bit to get off that injury and get back into the groove. 10 interceptions. Kyle Van Noy, solid. Is he a superstar? Is he going to light it up week in and week out? No, but he's a very solid player for us. Eric Flowers, at first I was like, I don't mind it. I gave it a decent grade for a draft pick, for a free agent signing, but Solomon Kinley does better at left guard than he does. So we'll see about that. Emmanuel Ogbah, come on. Did great for us. Shaq Lawson unfortunately got injured, but when he was in there, he kind of did pretty good for us. Those guys aren't making that much money. Ted Carris, a lot of people underestimate him. A lot of people think he sucks. Definitely doesn't suck. Go look at his stats. Go look at his grades. He actually is a pretty solid center. Will he be with the team next year? He signed a 1-year contract. We will see. But pretty solid there. Jordan Howard, bad signing. Didn't pan out for us. Didn't even make the field for the Eagles. He was on their practice squad. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't watch the Eagles, so you guys can let me know. Elandon Roberts, Gruger Hill, Fedulum, all very solid for us, especially Fedulum on the fake punt. So you look at the picks, you look at the free agents, and you just got to give a round of applause to the front office. They brought in some very good, solid players. Just imagine what they're going to do next season. I will get to that. I have a lot to talk about. But this team was the second youngest team in the NFL. The second youngest team. The rookies played a ton. These young guys played an absolute ton this year. And look at what they did. 10 wins. Look at how well the defense did. The offense struggled, but that's probably because there was more rookies on the offense. But look how well this team did with the amount of young players on the team. Amount of fourth-year players, third-year players, rookies. This team has a lot of promise going forward. One other thing I want to talk about is when the season started, we looked at this schedule, right? We got to play the 49ers. We got to play the Seahawks. We got to play the Rams. We got to play the Cardinals. We got to play the Bills. We got to play the Patriots. I don't know, man. And I heard this a lot too. This is a hard schedule. This is an absolute hard schedule. I don't know if the Dolphins can pull off more than 7 wins, Doug. I heard that a lot. I'm not saying from a majority, but I heard it a lot. And I said, if you go back and I made a strength of schedule video and I made a bunch of different videos. If you go back and watch them, what was the biggest thing I said? We don't know. The strength of schedule can drastically change. Absolutely drastically change. Injuries could happen. Look at the 49ers. Everyone thought we were going to get blown out by the 49ers, defending NFC champions. They're going to go to San Francisco to have to face them. Garoppolo, Kittle, their great running back, Mostert. And the Dolphins beat the crap out of them, 43-17, because of injuries. I said that. You'd never know because of injuries. You look at the strength of schedule. When the season started, the Dolphins had the 3rd hardest schedule. The 3rd. And that's why people were saying, man, I don't know. I don't know, Doug. I don't know. The Dolphins have the 25th hardest schedule. Looking at it now, after the season's over, the Dolphins have the 25th hardest schedule when it comes to strength of schedule. 25th. So we started with the 3rd, ended with the 25th. That's why I'm saying when next season starts, when we look at next season's schedule, which I do have, I don't have like exactly who when we're playing these people, but I do have who we're playing because we already know by, who's sitting where. But looking at it, you're going to say, oh my God, the schedule's so hard. Look at these teams we're playing. Look at those teams we're playing. Look at the strength of schedule. Just take that and throw it out the window. Because at the beginning of the season, we had the 3rd hardest schedule. Now we have the 25th hardest schedule. Things could change. But speaking of that, looking at the opponents next year, right? We're obviously playing our division in the Bills, the Jets, the Patriots. We're playing the AFC South. So our home game is against the Colts and the Texans. We're playing the NFC South. So our home game is the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. And then we're playing our home game against the AFC North that has the same place as us. So we're second place. We're going to be playing the Baltimore Ravens at home. That's the home. And then your away, again, Patriots, Bills, Jets. Then, again, AFC South, Jacksonville, Tennessee. Going to be some good games against Tennessee. NFC South, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and then we're playing the AFC West second place team, which is the Las Vegas Raiders again. They're going to want a little bit of a revenge game against the Dolphins. But looking at the schedule, or looking at the opponents, not necessarily the schedule because we don't know the schedule, you look at it and say, oh, I don't know. Jets, Patriots don't scare me. Colts, that's a good team. Houston Texans don't scare me. Atlanta Falcons don't scare me. Carolina Panthers don't scare me. Baltimore Ravens, that's a good team. But again, I'm saying doesn't scare me, but a lot can change with free agency, draft picks, accumulation, all that stuff. Look at the away teams. Jacksonville doesn't scare me. Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, first time facing the Dolphins after being released. That's going to be a primetime Sunday night game. I'm calling it right now. Tampa Bay taking on Tom Brady again. Doesn't scare me. New Orleans Saints, that is going to be dangerous, but will Drew Brees still be there? Will they add a different quarterback? And the Raiders, they don't scare me. Looking at the schedule, looking at the opponents, I don't know why I keep saying schedule. We'll see how this pans out, but we'll see, right? Then also, let's talk about draft picks. Talk about next year's, or this year's, because it is this year's, draft picks. We own the 3rd overall pick, which is from the Houston Texans. Then we own our own, which is number 18. We own the Houston 2nd round and our own 2nd round. So that's 2 firsts, 2 seconds. Then we have our own 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers 6th because of the Mika Fitzpatrick trade, the Seattle Seahawks 6th because of trade down, and the Atlanta Falcons 7th from Charles Harris trade. So we have 2 1s, 2 2s, a 3 4 5, 2 6s, and 1 7. We have 10 picks altogether in next year's draft. So the future for this team is incredibly, incredibly bright. We have 10 draft picks. We have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. We have the 3rd overall pick, thanks to the Tennessee Titans for beating the Houston Texans for us. We have $30+ million in cap space next year. And that could change depending on who gets cut, who this, who that. We can have even more cap space to make a play. That and what also plays into the free agent market, into cap space, into draft picks, all that stuff. Well, not necessarily draft picks. Is the fact that we won 10 games, the fact that we have a winning culture on this team, the fact that free agents are going to look at this team and say, Brian Flores knows how to win. Brian Flores knows how to coach this team to beat teams, to win with nothing, and to put his pieces in place. If he chooses me and he wants me to sign with them, that's because he believes in me and that I'm a piece that can fit in his puzzle. It's also enticing for free agents to want to come here. Some of the top free agents, whether it's a guard, running back, wide receiver, defensive end, whatever we need to come here. It's even more enticing. So the future for this team is incredibly, incredibly bright. A lot of people are talking about this team being, we're 3-4 years away from doing anything. Well, it was year 1, and we did a lot in year 1. So this year was just, it was a great ride. 10 wins, 6 losses. We lost 2 in a row, and then we never lost back-to-back games after that. Do you know that? We lost 2 in a row. in week 1, week 2. And then after that, we never lost a back-to-back game. 2 win, loss, 5 wins, loss, 2 wins, loss, 2 wins, loss. Never had a back-to-back losing game after week 1 and 2. You know how good that feels to just chain together wins? It's an amazing thing. And this team did an amazing thing this season. Yes, it sucks the way the season ended. Yes, it sucks that a 10-6 team didn't make the playoffs. But you got to look at it and say, year 1 of a rebuild. No one thought we would do this. Like I said, a lot of people were saying, oh, you know, we got a long way to go, this, and that. But let's talk about the elephant in the room and the thing that I have to consistently talk about. And this is going to be a talking point a lot this off season because we're picking 3rd overall, and it's Tua Tagovailoa. It's the quarterback. I don't understand how it's so hard to realize that a quarterback needs help, right? Quarterback needs some help. Get him an offensive line. Get him some playmakers, some deep threat guys, some guys that can get open, so get off the press. Get some distance between them and the corner or the linebacker or whoever. Get him some help. A lot of people want to talk about, you know, Burrow and Herbert. Herbert had a fantastic year this year. No one's taking anything away from Herbert. An absolute fantastic year this year. Threw over 4,000 yards. Can't take that away from the kid. But to look at Herbert and say, oh, he's perfect. He's an absolute perfect quarterback. Dolphins should have took him. He has no problems. It's false. Had a butt of a game against the Patriots. The Miami Dolphins defense completely confused him to the point for a whole drive they ran the ball because they were afraid he was going to turn the ball over, which he did. Against the Raiders, he had multiple opportunities to put that game away and couldn't. Had to settle for field goals, went into overtime, and then finally QB snuck it. Is that even a word? To win the game against the Raiders. He has his faults, but that doesn't take away from how good he is, how great of a season he has. But he also had some good weapons around him. You look at Tua Tagovailoa, right? Everyone says, he didn't show anything. He didn't show anything. He's got to go. He sucks. He threw 3 interceptions against the Bills. But didn't you want him to be more, you know, not dangerous, but force the ball more? Alabama open, NFL open. Didn't you want him to push the ball down the field more? Which he did. He attempted how many deep ball passes and how many were dropped? Didn't you want this? So you can't get on him for throwing 3 interceptions when you want him to step out of his comfort zone, to be more dangerous, to push it down the field, to try to be like Fitz, who has thrown multiple interception games week 1 through 3, right? You wanted this out of Tua. Now, am I saying Tua he's ready? He's ready right now. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. No, he has his faults. I've said it throughout the entire season that Tua has his faults. There was the game. I don't remember exactly what game. If it was the Patriots game, but there was a game where we were in the red zone, right? Matt Collins ran a slant and Devontae Parker ran a curl route. He tried to force the ball to Devontae Parker, almost intercepted it, but the ball got incomplete when Matt Collins was completely wide open on the slant. And I even said during the live stream, come on, man, you got to get the touchdown in there. He misses open people. So does Fitz. But he does miss open people. He does have his rookie struggles. Because guess what, guys? He's a rookie who didn't play quarterback for a year, who had to rehab his hip and didn't have a chance to completely train like Herbert and Burrow did. Doug, these are excuses. They are excuses. But am I wrong? To draft a quarterback at 3, I feel like it's a waste of a pick, right? That's my opinion. If you guys think we should draft a quarterback at 3, have him compete, by all means, that's your opinion. I don't see the Dolphins doing it. I think the Dolphins are going to ride with Tua. And a lot of people say the Dolphins are never going to have a number 3 overall pick again. Or not never, but it's going to be a while if it does happen. And that's a good thing. So I agree with you. That's a very good thing. I don't want to have a number 3 overall pick ever again. I want to be in the 20s. I want to be 32 overall pick. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. But why not build around the kid? Why not give him an offensive line? Why not give him a run game? People underestimate how drastic a run game can help out a quarterback, regardless if you're Ben Roethlisberger, Dan Marino, Joe Montana. Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, regardless of the type of quarterback you are, you've underestimated how drastic a good run game can be. And our offensive line isn't there yet. We have a ton of rookies in Kinley, Hunt, and Jackson. Eric Flowers, struggle bus city. Jesse Davis, he's probably not going to be on the team next year because he struggled so much. I have videos planned to do free agent cuts and all that stuff. You guys know I have a ton of videos planned for the offseason. They need more help on the offensive line. Now, is Swelly, I think is his name. I do apologize. He didn't play all last year. He opted out, so we don't know what he's going to be. So we'll see if the Dolphins take him at 3 or use it as a trade down. We'll see, but my point is you got to add some playmakers and you got to add the trenches. Trenches aren't there yet. The trenches aren't there yet. Yes, we had a 9-sack guy on the team, but he also disappeared. If you look at Josh Allen yesterday, he had 9,000. He literally sat down, had a sip of tea, got up, threw a touchdown. 4 plays before, a minute and a half left before the half, 4 passes, touchdown. He had too much time in the pocket. How many times do we watch a game and say, where's our pass rush? These quarterbacks have too much time in the pocket. So the trenches are still a problem. If you remember last year, a lot of you guys were asking me, hey, what would it take for us to make the playoffs? I said a top 5 offensive line, a top 5 defensive line. We win the AFC East and we make the playoffs. We didn't have either. We did not have either. And it still needs to be addressed. So my point is, why not address that, right? Then the other question I get a lot is, well, Doug, why do players perform better for fits? Why does the offensive line perform better for fits? I don't understand why they struggle with Tua. I got 2 things to say that. One, Fitz is a vet. Fitz is better than Tua. Fitz has been doing this for 16 years. He's been in this offense for 5 years. No one's saying that Fitz isn't better. No one's saying that Herbert didn't have a better season. No one's saying any of that. What I'm saying, what I've been saying is give the kid a chance. Give Tua a chance. Give him a team. You gave Tannehill 7 years. You gave a bunch of other players more time. Just give the kid more than 9 games. That's all I'm saying. But comparing him to Fitz is better. Fitz is a vet. Fitz has been doing this forever. But to say that they play better for Fitz isn't necessarily true, right? I went back and I looked at some of the stats. Some of our leading guys, right? Mike Gesicki. That guy disappeared for Fitz some games. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, he had 1 catch for 15 yards. Against Seattle, 1 catch for 15 yards. Against the Jets the first time, no catches for no yards. Disappeared for Fitz. You look at Devontae Parker. Again, against Jacksonville, 5 catches for 69 yards, no touchdowns. Against the Jets, 3 catches for 35 yards. That's when the offense was struggling, the second half. Jacksonville, the offense necessarily wasn't struggling. It did disappear in the second half, though. So to say that these guys disappear for Tua but not for Fitz isn't necessarily true, because we've seen the offense struggle under Fitz. Against the Jets, no points scored in the second half. Against Jacksonville, no points scored in the second half. Against Seattle, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. So to blame Tua for the offensive struggles is not fair, because the offense also struggled under Fitz a ton of times. So my point is, it's not Fitz's fault, because it's not Tua's fault. A lot of people say, why do you make all these excuses for Tua? Why are you a Tua lover? I'm a Miami Dolphin quarterback lover. I'm a logic lover. Because week 1, I said that Fitz's 3 interceptions, the first one didn't count because Preston Williams fell. I'm saying the same thing about yesterday with Devontae Parker falling to his first interception. I say the same things for Fitz that I say for Tua. I am not biased in one or the other. I just use logic. So what I'm saying in all of this is, let the kid develop, get him some players, get him an offensive line, and let's see what can happen. I said this in a previous video. If this is year 3 and we're seeing the same thing, we're seeing no progress, we're not seeing him getting better, he will not be here for much longer. They won't pick up his 5th-year option, because Brian Flores isn't the type of head coach to sit back and say, okay, he'll get better. He'll get better. He's not going to wait 7 years. We saw it with O'Leary, the tight end. He had a horrible game against the Steelers. He was gone. Jordan Howard couldn't get on the field, struggle bus city, gone. Flores and Greer aren't messing around anymore. Their careers and their jobs are on the line. My big point is, give the kid some time. Just give the kid some time. He had 9 games. His wide receivers were not getting open. He did not have time in the pocket. There's a stat, right? You look at time to throw, right? Mahomes, 2.89 seconds. Russell Wilson, 2.97 seconds. Aaron Rodgers, 2.72. Josh Allen, 3 seconds to throw on average. Tua Tagovailoa, 2.5. You want him to be Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, but he doesn't get time to throw, right? Average throw percentage, 20.3% compared to 11, 11, 11, 13. Average separation of top 2 targets. Look at the separation Mahomes, Wilson, Rodgers, and Josh Allen get. 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. You know the separation that Tua gets? And Ryan Fitzpatrick? We'll throw Ryan Fitzpatrick in. 1.85 yards separation. So what I'm saying is get him some playmakers to get more separation and get him an offensive line to give him more time. It's the only thing I'm saying. And if in next year, screw it, even next year, by this time next year, if he's still struggling, I'm going to be like, all right, we need to move on. And I'm not saying not draft a quarterback. I'm just not saying in the top 3 or the first round, because there's more needs that need to be addressed with wide receivers, offensive line, defensive line. That's all I'm saying. But be sure to comment below. Thank you guys for hanging out all the way to the end. If you guys are here all the way to the end, I greatly appreciate it. This is a very long video, and I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys hanging out. But yeah, that's the video. I will do my Q&A video probably Wednesday. I will let you guys know who the winner of the giveaway is. I have to break down everything and pick a winner somehow. So we're going to figure that out. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the Q&A video. Like I said, comment below or on my Twitter or on my Instagram. But like usual, guys, stay classy and fins up.